Welcome back to the Now Morning Show here on TTT. I am Natalee Legore, of course. Happy to get back Carrie and Rockers for sure. Love you, Whitney. Love you, Natasha. Love you, Rhea. But you know, in celebration of International Women's Day, we are continuing to look at women across all spheres of society. Well, this morning we have two very special women in studio with us. We have Rhea Frank, who is convicted, and we have Rasha Soriano, who is on... Sorano?
Sobrian.
So?
Brian.
Sobrian.
Yeah.
Sorry, they put Soriano there. Sobrian. Rasha Sobrian, who is on remand. And you may be asking yourself, why is it that we have two women from the prison system here? It's because there are still women in the system. They're still part of Trinidad and Tobago. And we wanted to share their stories with you, looking at being behind bars and being a mother, being behind bars and what it really means to their lives, what changes have happened and how are they coping. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So Rhea and Rasha. Rhea Rasha. Hey, all right. Yeah, you planned that, boy. How you all doing? How you doing?
And funny thing is, my second name is Rhea also.
Your second name is Rhea?
Yeah.
So you're Rasha Rhea Sobrian?
Yeah.
Papa, you. All right, Rasha Rhea Sobrian, but you're not Rhea Rasha, though.
No.
Okay. All right, ladies, welcome to the Now Morning Show here on TTT. Let me start with you, Rasha. You know, being remanded, how long have you been on remand, by the way?
13 years.
13 years. How does that affect you when you're waiting so long, you know, for a case to be heard, to be convicted, or to be, you know, sent home, let free, whatever it might be? How does that make you feel?
Frustrated. But I give God thanks every day that He has kept me this far and He's still keeping me. Because of Him, I put Him first in everything I do. Yeah. It's frustrating waiting the time period, but everything happened by God's timing.
Right. Do you have children?
3.
And how does that work when you are behind bars and your children are out there? How does it translate into being a mother?
It damaged me physically, emotionally, and spiritually, because being out there with my kids, we had a bond, and by being incarcerated, we lose that touch. We lose, you know, interaction, being there for them when they come from school. They fall, they hit their foot. Mommy, I'm paying, mommy. Mommy always there. Now there's nobody there, and it is a hard impact on them and on me too, because every day I pray and ask God to cover them, to keep them. And you know, even though I'm not there, I know He is with them there, although, but it's not the same.
Yeah. So they're with extended family? They're
with my mom, right? And even though my mom is trying her best to be there for them, it is not the same, because grandma cannot fill the space of her mother's love.
All right. And Rhea, you are convicted, so you're not on remand. You're fully into the system. What does that feel like? Do you think it's any different from those who are on remand?
No, it's not no different. It's just like waiting for your time to go home is a lengthy period. It come like if you're, say my EPD is the 25th, the 1st of March, 2025. And that time seems like forever.
25 years, the 31st of March here?
2025 is my EPD, the day I'm leaving prison. And that time feel like it's never going to come.
Right, so
never.
4 more years.
Yeah, like it's never going to come.
Yeah. You find behind bars the time seems to move more slowly.
It stops. It completely stops. 1 minute comes like an hour. An hour comes like a day. A day comes like a week.
Wow. So how do you cope? What mechanisms do you employ? You know, are there programs in there that you all can use to pass the time?
Before COVID, yes, there were. There were prison's journey. There were the cosmetology class. There were white tape. Now there's nothing. All we have is the sewing room, the ration room, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
Nothing much. And CXC classes, which I'm a part of, nothing else.
Yeah.
COVID, I just came and shut down everything. And we had angel tree visits where we see our children every Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter, nothing like that anymore.
Right. So you have children as well.
Yes, I have.
And what is it like for them not being able to physically bond with you?
Pressure. I'm from Tobago. When the last time I spoke to my 5-year-old, she was like, so when we are in for people in jail, why ain't coming home? I was like, what? Yeah, it was really hard. She really missing mommy.
Do you find that the children have those kind of conversations, though? Just be frank and ask you, you know, why you're doing this, or why you're here, or, you know, why you're not in their lives physically?
Yeah, my children was much younger. They was 8 and 9. And when I saw them for a Mother's Day visit, well, it was an emotional time. And the question that my 7-year-old asked me, Mommy, where you sleep? What you eat? What are you doing? I want to go and see where you is. I said, son, no, you can't, but Mommy is good. Mommy is comfortable. And you just keep praying for Mom. Mommy, I pray for you every day. And the question that I cannot answer for my children up to this very day, Mommy, when are you coming home? How long do we have to wait to embrace our mommy again? And that is a question that up to this day, I cannot answer.
And do you fear that, you know, by the time you go back home, that they won't know you or you won't know them? You'd have missed so many of their developmental years.
Yeah, I fear of that every day. That the distance, the separation is like, they don't know who mommy is anymore. They're so attached to granny now.
Yeah.
No mommy.
Are you crying? I know. Can we get some... I know how difficult these things are, and it's okay to cry. You know, it's okay to cry. 4 more years. If you had to speak to a mother who is out there, you know, who is able to be with her child, what do you say to that mom?
Cherish every moment you have with your kids. Don't miss no moment whatsoever. Cherish every moment you have with your child.
Yeah.
It's precious.
Yeah.
Because when that freedom is taken away from you, your whole life stops.
How long have you been behind bars now?
2 years and 6 months.
Hardest 2 years, right?
Hardest.
And for you, how 13 years you said you've been... So you're convicted 2 years, 13 years, and still waiting to even know if you're going to be convicted, yes or no.
But I pray to God every day that, you know, something work out by His mercy and His grace. But the best thing about it, everybody think being in prison is a bad place. It's not a bad place. It's how you take it. You leave the bad, take the good. The choices is yours.
What's good about being in prison? Tell me what you think are the positives for that experience.
Well, for me, I can speak for me, right? Being in prison for 13 years, I take every opportunity that was available to me that I didn't have the chance to get as growing up. You understand? It was like you're out of school at the age of 8. You have been an adult in childhood when you used to be a child playing with dolls and tea sets and these things. I didn't have those things.
So you believe that your circumstances growing up impacted you, ended up where you are today?
Yeah. And being in prison, I did a lot. I achieved a lot. And officers, they are not just officers. They are mothers, they are sisters. And they were total stranger to me. And I have to say thank God for them being in my life for all these years, that gave me a positive impact and let me see a difference, that all is not lost, because I had a very low self-esteem. It was so low that the ground could have opened up and swallowed you. And I got the opportunity to do classes, go back to school. I did so much things. I did a lot of voluntary work, gardening, which I love, craft with my hands. I love sewing. I do a lot of curtains and panels and cushions and all these things.
So you've definitely used your time and let the time, you serve the time by using it wisely. Is that the same experience you've had, Rhea?
Yes, same experience. I cannot sew. I learned to sew.
You can't sew, no. What are the skills you picked up along the way?
Origami. I learned at Nigeria origami arts. And this before that,
I don't even know what that is. So you see, you're two up on me there already. My grandmother is a seamstress, and darling, ashamed to stand up and show you the tear on this dress right now. You wouldn't believe me. Yeah.
I could fix it, don't worry.
All right, you see? So this definitely, we're on the right track. We're speaking to Rasha Sobrian and Rhea Frank. They're from the women's prison, remanded convicted, 4 more years to go, 13 years still waiting. And that's just how the system is, unfortunate. And we're just here talking to them about what it means being behind bars and how it has impacted their family. But, you know, we speak of the children and just some of the questions they ask. But now we're in a pandemic as well. So how are they coping? Who keeps your children, by the way?
My mom and my dad.
Well, thank God you all have parents who are so supportive. You know, you definitely have to give some praises to Jah for that one. You know, but how do they survive during the pandemic with the online schooling, and mommy's not there to correct the homework and to, you know, be there and ensure that mentally they're okay?
Well, they have auntie, they have granny, and they have grandpa to do that.
Yeah.
I wish I was there, but how I was growing up in Tobago, we are close-knit family.
Yeah.
So what I miss, mommy will pick up. So I'm glad for that. Mommy will take up the slack that I would have missed. So I have no problems with that.
Right. And you?
Well, after being incarcerated, my daughter had dropped out of school to take care of her brothers. She worked domestic. She did every little thing to make sure that her brothers had an education. And I just thank God every day for that. And she's so very supportive. It hurt me to know that
She had to take this path.
Yeah, but by God's grace, He's keeping her, He's blessing her. And my children, is very hard, but the question keep popping, Mommy, when are you coming home? It is a question I can't even answer for myself, because with the system, it's very slow. And now with the pandemic, it's even slower. So I just say I use my time wisely. I also teach Prisoner's Journey. I did a course in Prisoner's Journey, discipleship. I did a course in leader course in teaching others. And I encourage a lot of women in the prison, as myself, who have been through a rough time in their life, to let them know that they are not alone. Because I'm a victim of everything that you could think about.
Do you fear your children being these victims as well, becoming these victims? Because a lot of times we emulate our parents because we love them, we respect them, we look up to them. And whatever path they choose, naturally we go down the same path. Not because we're bad, but because these are the people who we look up to. Do you have that fear that any of your children will end up on that same path?
Every day. Because when you listen to the news or you read a newspaper, a young girl might get raped, a young boy might be killed. And that is the fear that I have as a mother, as a woman, that I don't want to hear. I got a call by the welfare, Rasha, your son died, your daughter died.
So
that is something that I cannot handle or live with. I can't.
So, Rhea, what do you say to them when you get to speak with them? What do you say to them to ensure that they don't walk the same path that mommy did?
My kids are small. They are 5, 6, 9, and 10. So most of the times it's tears. It's tears most of the time.
All right, darling. You bawl as much as you need to.
Most of the time it's tears, but as I say, the last time I spoke to them was last week. I spoke to my son. My big son is in Trinidad. He in Tabakit. He passed for Tabakit Composite. And I told him, I said, don't follow mommy's footsteps. Don't come where mommy is. Mommy's not in a nice place. Mommy will be home soon. And he said, I hear you, mommy. I hear you.
So you all spoke of the positives that you got from the experience being behind bars, but what are some of the negatives apart from just being locked away and being away from your families? Within the system itself, what are some of the issues in there that you think we could work on, we could improve?
Well, being on remand for all these years, it have inmates there as myself, that they're longer, or 15 years, still waiting on the court system for their trials to start, for cases to speed up, and that is something very frustrating for many of us on remand, because we don't know what is going on, we don't know where we stand, we don't know if we on the left or we on the right.
So if you had to speak to those in the judiciary, what would you say to them?
What I would say to them is that the first thing a child is asked for is their mommy. A mother, love, a mother being there is first priority in a child's life. And a mother not being there, children intend to go, okay, Mommy not here, daddy not here, but grandma can't tell me anything. Let me follow into the wrong hands. And that is where we have problems. Children don't want to hear what you have to say. Mommy, we don't care about me because you in there so long and you're not coming. You see, these are the things that affect our life and our children's life on both negative and positive. But children out there at this tender age, they try really hard, but people out there are monsters. As I see, as the Bible say, there are a lot of sheep in wolf clothing, that they will come good to your children. We will help you, don't worry. But after, when they get to it, there's no way that children could come out, because if they do come out, they do speak, they go to the police, they make a report, to speak to a neighbor. When you do hear, either your child die or something happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I always encourage my children that no matter what, but God first. Pray. Mommy in a place because of circumstances, and they know why, because they used to see everything that used to go on with me. So they have it in their mind. I do not want to be where mommy is. I do not want to be in a place like that. So we will do the right thing. I used to always tell them, when I speak with them, and I see them through visit, mommy love you no matter what. And at the end of the day, take your education, make mommy proud, be a bright child, work hard for what you want, do not take, do not steal from nobody, do not take, work for what you want, because at the end of the day, you do not want to be where mommy is.
Right. What are some of those things on the inside you think definitely could be improved?
Yeah, the justice system is very slow. When I was not convicted as yet, I was in the free will, right? And my time for my court date was 13 years before I got a conviction. And she'd been in remand for 13 years inside prison. So it is the court system is a slow process that it takes to convict you, to start a trial, and it's a long, weary process.
So more than the crime or the charge of a crime or the commitment of a crime or the conviction of a crime is the fact that the system itself
yes,
is slow.
It's so slow.
It's very slow.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the crime, if it's larceny, attempted murder, whatever it is, the system is really slow. It's really, really, really slow.
Tell Mr. Archie what you want changed. He's watching the program.
Women want to be set free. You could give us ankle bands on our feet and send us home to our children. That is what we need. We don't need to be behind bars all the time. Yes, we did something wrong. Not saying no. We need to be punished, but not to be behind bars for 13 years in remand, 6 years. But my time is 6 years convicted. We need to be with our families, both male and female. I wouldn't talk for women alone, but I have some men who are mother figures to the children too, who need to be home to their parents, with their children.
We will have somebody from the judiciary, of course, to talk about this in another show. I don't think it's today, in another show, right? But we want to thank the Commissioner of Prisons, Dennis Pulchan, and of course the Prison Service for allowing us to speak with these two women today. We have to my left Rasha Sobrian, and of course to my right Rhea Frank, and both of them are here to talk about their life behind bars. Rasha, 13 years on remand, and Rhea, 6 years convicted for 6 years. That's your term, but you've served 2 already. So 4 more years to go, and she says it's the longest time. It's almost as if the time isn't moving. But ladies, if you have to talk to that woman out there, yesterday we celebrated International Women's Day, and we are celebrating both of you. That's why we have you here, because we know that regardless of the path we choose or the life we live, is that we are women, we are strong. And though we may make mistakes or we may be accused, that we are still women and that we have a lot to offer to this society. So on the occasion of International Women's Day, if you have to speak to that woman out there who may choose a similar path, who may choose a different path, but what do you say to the women who are out there today?
Well, for me, what I would say to all women out there, including myself and my fellow inmates, that don't take life for granted, because today you're here, tomorrow you don't know where you will be, because circumstances is something everybody try to run from. But as women, I could stand up, testify to my life, that where I came from, what I have been through, and still going through, And it's not easy. It's not something that you're proud of talking about. But I must say, thank God I got the courage, I got the strength from a lot of fellow officers who I spoke with, and they encouraged me that no matter what, you are a woman, you are a mother, you are a sister, you are a stranger. And by giving my testimony and giving my experience in life, women out there, you have to be strong no matter what. You're into a relationship and it cannot work. Restraining order is a waste of time because it's not helping. Women are still being killed. Women are still being violated. It goes both ways with men too. And at the end of the day, we have to stand strong because together we stand, divided we fall. And I want to be able that when I leave the prison, to speak to schools, children in school, women, whether young, old, growing up. Because everybody as a woman go through circumstances, go through trials and tribulations. That there's a lot of men out there are wolves in sheep clothing because they are luring women and putting on a mask for these women, and some of us, many of us fall for it. And when we end up in circumstances, it's too late. So let us stand strong as a woman. Pray, have everything. Pray to break every barrier.
That is so true. And what for you, Rhea? What do you say to them?
Gentleness make a point and not an enemy, right? And cherish every moment you have with your kids, your family, your brothers, your sisters. Even if though you don't make your choices in life, you could make your journey. Your first step you make towards life is your journey that will end it, right? And don't think that if you're in a bad relationship, it will end bad. No, it depends on you, how you make it work out. Always depend on you. Don't ever belittle yourself for nobody.
Well, you all hear us say good morning to your children. We do have to wrap, but I don't want you to leave and not say at least good morning to your children.
Yeah, I just want to say a special good morning to my kids, Joshua, Matthew, Rena, my mom, my dad, everybody who have supported me. And a special thanks to the women, the officers, the Commissioner of Prison and executive staff. Thank you all so much. We all are women. You feel what we feel, and you never look at face, you never look at color, no race. But thank you for standing and giving me courage.
Rhea?
Thank you.
Hi, Mom, Dad, Faith, Kaden, Miracle, Tyreek, Sian, Cameron. Hi.
That's all right. A hi will do. But ladies, I want to thank you so much for being with me here this morning. And, you know, I know the journey has been a rough one, but you all both are very strong. I am proud of both of you. Keep your heads up, right? And I'm sure we'll chat again in the future. Talking to Rasha, Sobrian, and Rhea Frank, inmates, and they were just sharing their journey with us. And they're saying the justice system is just too slow, you know, and they worry for their children. I want to thank them so much. We're going to take a break and we'll be back with you. It's the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned.
Many nights I sit and I wonder what sort of